Hello, folks. Welcome to episode 22 of season 2 of the GOAT series. I'm your host, Jeremy Hadler, and today I'm going to be talking about the greatest Titans player in franchise history up to this point in their history all time. I'm going to go over the rules here like I always do about the GOAT series, and that is choosing 5 candidates for who I think is the greatest Titans player of all time in franchise history up to this point. And yes, I'm including the Houston Oilers because it is the same franchise still, guys. So if you want to complain about it, like, oh, Bruce Matthews didn't play for the Tennessee Titans, still the same franchise. That was the same thing when I did with the Redskins and the Commanders. Same thing, same franchise, guys. So that is what I'm going to be going with in this episode here. Criteria I always look for in these candidates is their accomplishments with the team, their tenure with the team, how they played with the team, and how are they on and off the field. And of course, I do honorable mention. In this episode today, we don't have a guest, so usually they would have a honorable mention, but we don't have one. So I will be doing honorable mention by myself, folks. So that'll be how I do. And at the end of the video, I choose the Ultimate Titans GOAT, so stay tuned for that. To start with my honorable mention, this guy is nicknamed CJ2K, and that is Chris Johnson. Played 6 seasons with the Titans. One-time Offensive Player, one-time First-Team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, one-time rushing yards leader. Stats, folks: 7,965 rushing yards, 50 rushing TDs, 272 receptions, 2,003 receiving yards, 8 receiving TDs. Total scrimmage yards was 9,968. Now, what does Chris Johnson stand out to me? Because the big thing that I always remember about Chris Johnson is one big season in 2009, which was one of the greatest rushing yard seasons ever to mankind in the NFL history. Now, what stands out to me about Chris Johnson's game? He has elite speed, he's very versatile, and he was able to score anywhere from the field. So you go from your own 5-yard line to your opponent's 5-yard line, he could still score and make a huge difference. And he was a huge difference in that Tennessee Titans offense and made him very good for a bit. And he was one of the main reasons why they did so good, and they had a good offensive line at that time. But Chris Johnson, he helped them out. He helped take the lead and help them be good for a couple years. And that 2009 season still stands out to me, so I got to give appreciation here to Chris Johnson. Has to be up here on my list as an honorable mention. Didn't unfortunately make it to the top tier, but it had to be recognized, I believe, still, folks. Next on my list is Earl Campbell, the running back. So to go with another running back, played 6 seasons with the Tennessee Titans, like Chris Johnson. He's a Hall of Famer, one-time MVP, 3-time Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time First-Team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time rushing yards leader, 2-time rushing TDs leader. His stats, folks: 8,574 rushing yards, 73 rushing TDs, and a total scrimmage of 9,292 scrimmage yards. That is pretty good. But what is the big thing that Earl Campbell deserved to be the MVP, to be so good and be a Hall of Famer? Known for bruising Ryle's son, with being kind of that bell cow he was back there, but he would just power through guys, kind of like you see with Emmitt Smith back in the day, or you see with Derrick Henry, who I'm going to talk about in a bit. But he would just bulldoze through those guys, and he just make a run through it, and he was just powerful running back. He just get through it and pound, pound, pound. And that was the big thing with Earl Campbell. He was just one of those dominant players through his era. He had incredible speed, and as I just mentioned about the power, he had great strength. And just breaking tackles is what he's really known for, and just bulldozing those defenders is a big thing to me. So Earl Campbell definitely has to get appreciation on here. And this Tennessee Titans franchise is really known for the running backs. Like I just mentioned with Chris Johnson, Earl Campbell, and now I'm going to get to Derrick Henry here. It's fascinating to see every NFL franchise is always known for one position, whether it's the Packers for the quarterbacks, the Bears for their defense, of their linebackers especially. Tennessee Titans are known for their running backs, and that's a great thing to see there. But let's get to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, nicknamed King Henry, played 8 seasons with the Tennessee Titans. He's now with the Baltimore Ravens. One-time Offensive Player of the Year, one-time First-Team All-Pro, one-time Second-Team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time rushing yards leader, 2-time rushing TDs leader. His stats now, this is with the Tennessee Titans of what he did with them. Not if we're counting now, because if we count now with the Baltimore Ravens, he is very close to doing very well on the all-time rushing TDs list. So gotta stay with the Tennessee Titans that I mentioned in my criteria. But his stats, folks: 9,502 rushing yards, 90 rushing TDs, 155 receptions, 1,458 receiving yards, 3 receiving TDs, total scrimmage yards of 10,960. Now, the big thing that I always remember about Derrick Henry when he first took off was that huge run against the Jacksonville Jaguars from like his own 5-yard line. It was like a 99-yard touchdown, I think it was, or something like that. And he just went all the way down and he just shoved guys. He just pushed them off. And that was one of the big things that I started like Derrick Henry is when he broke out in that game. And he put up a record game in that one. So that was pretty awesome to see. But to go back to his game, powerful running back. I mean, the bulldozing, he would just do it all the time. He had great size. Now, he wasn't great in the pass game. That wasn't his specialty. He's mostly known for like as soon as you handed it off to him, here you go. He's not great in the catching aspect. He can catch the ball maybe once or twice here and there at a bit, but he is not known for that of his pass game. That's one of his weaknesses. But you see a rare combination of his power, speed, and size. That's the dream you want out of a running back, and King Henry represents all of that. He's very patient. He has great vision to see where defenders are going and just able to break through them, shove them out of the way, because that's one of the big things. And he was just a downhill running back. That's a big thing. Just known to be able to carry the heavy workload. Like if you give him 25 carries, he's going to march through and have a great day. He's going to put in the work for it. And that's one of the big things that stands out to me with Derrick Henry. He's putting the workload for it. And the best thing, as I just mentioned about like when he first broke out, is his break long runs. He just breaks through those tackles and those defenders and just have long runs. That is the big thing that always stands out to me about King Henry. So King Henry, got to give appreciation to you. You are one of my favorite NFL players to watch. So got to give appreciation to you, King Henry. All right, let's go with the Frank Gore's pick here to start out with, because folks that don't know what the Frank Gore term means on this GOAT series, it means they're the longest tenure player on the list here. And that guy played 19 seasons with the Houston Oilers. But again, we're counting the Oilers and the Titans together because it's the same franchise still. And that is Bruce Matthews. Bruce Matthews. 7 first-team All-Pro. 7. 2 second-team All-Pro. 14-time Pro Bowler. All-rookie team. Made Titans/Oilers Ring of Honor. And he's in the Hall of Fame, folks. Guy's never retired. Number 74 with the Tennessee Titans. Now, what stands out to me about Bruce Matthews? Bruce Matthews, very competitive, very versatile. He played any position you want to put him in. Whether it's left tackle, right tackle, both guard positions, center. He played any position you want him to play. And me and my buddy Zach last year were doing the first season ago. We kept debating what is Bruce Matthews mostly considered. And there were different arguments where you could put up with like he's mostly a guard, he's mostly a tackle, center you could even argue about. So very versatile guy. He is very consistent, durable, lasting 19 seasons in the NFL. That's very rare to do. You don't see that most of the time. It's just quarterbacks. Great technique is what stands out to me. He had exceptional technique of just being able to great pull, like in the run game, just pull and push guys out of the way, and great pass protection too. And he was just a leader on the field and off the field as well in that community to help him out with. And he was the reason why that offensive line was so good. He helped out Earl Campbell back in the day. And he's one of the main reasons why that offensive line succeeded with the Tennessee Titans. And he just needs to get appreciation here. And Bruce Matthews, absolute legend. I mean, 7 first-team All-Pros. You just don't see it. Now, the 14 Pro Bowls, that's pretty good too, but that's mostly just consistency of how I determine with Pro Bowls. But 7 first-team All-Pros, that's a big standout to me. So you got to give appreciation to that with Bruce Matthews. Got to give appreciation to him there. Next on our list is Steve Air McNair. Played 11 seasons with the Tennessee Titans. He's a one-time co-MVP because he split the award back in his day. One-time second-team All-Pro. 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time passer rating leader, made the Titans Oilers Ring of Honor, got his number retired. He's the franchise all-time leader in the Tennessee Titans history in passing yards and TDs. His stats, folks, he had 59.5 completion percentage, 27,141 passing yards, 156 passing TDs, 103 interceptions, and 83.3 passer rating. Now, rest in peace with Steve McNair. He had that tragedy that happened to him. Great player overall, but to talk about his game, what he was known for is his toughness, his leadership. He was a great player on the field. He was able to make plays with his arm and run the ball, like with his legs. He had a strong arm, too, just to throw it down the pocket and just zip it through those defenders. He had great mobility, and he was able to perform in clutch moments. So, like, there was a lot of times where he was put in difficult situations in the game, and he came out most of the time. But unfortunately, they couldn't win the Super Bowl with him. They lost it to the show on turf Rams back in the day, but he is definitely a pivotal piece of the Tennessee Titans. Definitely a pivotal piece. I mean, get the MVP award. I mean, nowadays it's just a quarterback award, but still, back in the day, like that was pretty hard to do. Franchise leader in passing yards and the TDs, that's pretty awesome. His stats, I mean, they're pretty solid. You got to give credit for him. And he just be able to make plays like in the pocket, outside the pocket, and just able to run with the ball. just pretty impressive guy overall. If you watch his tape, it was just pretty awesome to see that. But gotta give appreciation to Steve McNair, awesome player. Rest in peace. Last player here, folks. Before I get to my goat, he played 10 seasons with the Tennessee Titans, and that is Warren Moon. Warren Moon, great name, just Moon of the last name. That's pretty awesome to have. But he's a Hall of Famer. One-time Offensive Player, one-time NFL Man of the Year, one-time second-team All-Pro. Interesting fact about him: he's the first African-American quarterback inducted in the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame. Pretty awesome to do. Stats, folks: 57.9 completion percentage, 33,685 passing yards, 196 passing TDs, 166 INTs, and 80.4 passer rate. Not great stats, but back in the day, like, you gotta do it. I mean, it's the same also as Steve McNair too. He put up a bit better stats, even though the interceptions are completely off, about 60 a difference there. So that's a big difference between Moon and McNair. Just to give it to you guys. But what sticks out about Warren Moon? Again, he has a strong arm. He was a great leader, like these other guys here too. But he was very consistent, and he was a precision passer. He was able to make the same throw over and over after all the time. And he was able to excel into a pass-heavy offense because back in the day, that's what his era was about, is just throwing heavy and heavy, because you didn't see a lot of running. You didn't see a lot of like the run days back in the day. His era was very pass-heavy, and he was very good, and he was one of the best quarterbacks in his era, and absolute star, just an absolute star, just to give it to you guys. But Warren Moon has to get appreciation on here too as well, folks. And now we get to my GOAT here, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tennessee Titans. It comes down to two players for me. It's not Derrick Henry, guys. It's not between him, because he just didn't get to me. He's a fun player watching. He's one of my favorite players watching. But for the Tennessee Titans criteria, when I'm looking at, he just missed out on that. But Earl Campbell is definitely one, and Bruce Matthews. Bruce Matthews, give consideration of like his longevity and durability. That's a plus. Now, Earl Campbell played 6 seasons. However, he won an MVP in that time. He was a 3-time Offensive Player of the Year and 3 first-team All-Pros. 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time rushing yards leader. He did all of those achievements in 6 seasons. Most NFL players cannot do that. In the 6 seasons they play, most cannot put up what he did. And to win the MVP as a running back. Now, back in the day, I get like it's a lot easier to win it compared to nowadays, but like still, you got to give appreciation. Like, very hard for a running back to win the MVP award. Very hard to do that. But Bruce Matthews, I think, is the GOAT here to me, folks, because A, he did have the longevity. Now, Earl Campbell, like, give the achievements and everything. The 6 seasons does annoy me a bit here, guys. If he lasted longer and he didn't get hurt to have his career end short, I could have given it to Earl Campbell. But the thing that sticks out to me with Bruce Matthews, even though he had the longevity and durability, he had 7 first-team All-Pros, which is crazy, and he had 14 Pro Bowls. That's just unbelievable to me. And he could play numerous spots you want to put him at, and that's one of the big things that sticks out to me with Bruce Matthews is the versatility, the consistency, excellent technique, and durability, and awesome leader too, to help anchor that offensive line for the Tennessee Titans, and helped out Earl Campbell back in the day too. To me, folks, the Titans GOAT for me is Bruce Matthews. I got to give it to him here just because he had better achievements, accomplished more, and he was a better player overall, in my opinion. So, but Bruce Matthews is my GOAT here, ladies and gentlemen, for the Tennessee Titans. Let me know what you think in the chat. Is Bruce Matthews the GOAT? Do you think he's not? Do you think it should have been Earl Campbell? Do you think it should have been somebody else? Let me know in the chat of who you think should have been more recognized on this list. Who should have been honorable mention? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Appreciate everyone tuning in so far for this GOAT series. We're still continuing with it. Season 2, I will be asking you guys in a couple weeks if you want Season 3 to come out. If you want Season 3 to happen, let me know, folks. And also appreciate everyone that watched my Packers playoff hype trailer video. Unfortunately, didn't do well for my Packers football team in advance, but appreciate the 17,000 views to help out the channel and the subscribers too. If you are new to the channel, this is some of the things that we do is make content here of the GOAT series, cover my Packers football team, and cover do fun videos of just competition stuff. So appreciate it and stay tuned for upcoming content out there. But that's the wrap for this video, folks. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.